Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm doing a no run-through review for the newest hero for Marvel Champions, Valkyrie. Valkyrie was one that actually surprised me that she was announced, considering that I was like, okay, that seems almost like a random one, but she is awesome. Obviously she's kind of she's a ally of Thor, and Thor was one of the very first hero packs, and he's good. He has a lot of minion control and a lot of ways of dealing with a lot of minions. But Valkyrie, I feel like she sings way more than Thor's deck does. She is super cool and very interesting to play. Granted, once again, Thor was one of the earlier ones. They potentially weren't experimenting as much, but yeah, she is really cool. So let's go ahead and dive into her cards. Well, let's first look at what she has. So Alter Ego form, Brunhilde, 4 recovery, pretty good, 12 health, also decent, 6 hand size, and she starts with a Death Glow, her Death Glow card, off to the side. This is very important. Her Death Glow is like the crux of her entire deck. But she has Not This Day. As an action, you can detach Death Glow and set it to the side. Probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it certainly will. Whenever we flip to her Valkyrie, her hero side, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 1 defense. Comes off as pretty weak, right? Well, now with her card, she gets pretty stacked pretty quickly. But she has her Death Perception, I believe is what they... yes. As an action, you can play the set-aside Deathglow upgrade as if it was in your hand. Well, what does Deathglow do? You attach to an enemy, and when attached enemy is defeated, set this card aside, out of play. If Valkyrie defeated the enemy, ready her. So already she has ways to, exhaust herself for various abilities, and then to quickly kill something just to immediately be readied again. Now, what is really cool is... like Thor, she is focused on minions. Minions are kind of her bread and butter. But she's kind of in between. Whereas Thor felt very minion heavy, she is kind of I'll deal with, quite a few minions, but I'll also make sure to kick the villain's ass while I'm at it. So, let's take a look at some of her cards. The cards that I have here also include, she comes with aggression, and off the top of my head I can't remember what Thor was, but one thing that I really like about her is she has a bunch of support and upgrade abilities. So let's go ahead and look at all of those. All the cards that I have ready to show you, most of them are upgrades, and they're for her. So let's look at some of her weapons, and I'm not familiar with Valkyrie lore at all, but she has Dragon Fang, which is her sword. Her sword is restricted, so it's the only one you can have, but it's very cheap. And she gets +1 attack, but +2 attack if you're attacking the enemy with Death Glow. This is going to be a common theme. She does a lot more when it happens to be the enemy or the minion with Death Glow. So, and you can attach that to the villain, so you can put it on the villain and deal more damage to him. Granted, you would then have to swap to Alter Ego form to pull it back, because you're not going to defeat him immediately. So if you want to start, you pop kind of that. It reminds me a little bit about Kratos' axe in the new God of War, how you just would throw it to stick it to them, and then you summon it back. That's what this is reminding me of. You throw it at the minion, then kill them, pull it back, and then you throw it to another minion to kill it, pull it back, all while being ready and being badass. So Dragon Fang bumps her up. Excuse me. She's at 2 attack already. Now she's at 3, potentially 4, depending on who she's attacking. Let's look at her spear, Valkyrie's spear, which you would think increases her attack. It doesn't. Increases her defense, does the same thing. Now she's at 2 defense, but if she's defending against the person with Death Glow, she gets +2 defense. Once again, if you want her to focus on minions, you can. If you want her to focus on the villain, you can. You just keep Death Glow on the villain the entire time, or you have her pop it around to minions, which is really neat. You're just not readying her as much. Now, you could just, of course, give her combat training. Combat training just is a +1 attack. This is a pretty good one. She has a few in her deck, so if you get one of them out early, then now she just has a natural 3 attack, which is good. And the other one becomes a burn card, so you're not, if you draw, you're like, oh, I can use this to spend for other stuff, or give it to someone else. Or someone else can give it to you, and then you have 2 burn cards. Now, here is where, another upgrade. This is really, really sweet. Aragorn, which is, I did not know was the name of her horse. But, yeah, as you can see, it's not on the cover. I thought she was riding it. But, yeah, that is her horse. And it gives her +4 hit points and the aerial trait. Nothing in her deck relies on her having the aerial trait. But once again, if you deck construct, that can be a huge thing. So that bumps her from 12 hit points to 16, which is huge. Like, a lot of characters don't have health ramp. It is, for just to have a natural HP, like, increase like that is amazing. So, that's just an upgrade. Okay, there you go. Now, we have some other really, really cool cards that are upgrades. You can have Flight of the Valkyrie. I'll just kind of put that there. So, this is one where it is an upgrade, so it stays out, but as a response, after the enemy with Dragon Glow is defeated, you discard that to then remove 5 threat from a scheme. That's her main threat removal. She doesn't have a lot, if anything, to my knowledge, that is active threat. She is not the one dealing with schemes. She does have ways to do it, but very, very few. This is one of them, and it once again relies on her killing a minion or defeating something with Deathglow to then pop 5 off. And 5 is a lot, but honestly, I never played this card. I never had her on threat. I was too busy beating up minions and the villain. So that is another card that she can have. And then 2 more support cards. This is where she becomes really, really good. A lot of my favorite, if you've watched my 2 ranked lists of heroes, you'll notice a lot of my favorite heroes are the ones that have card draw. This is a card game after all, so drawing cards makes you feel more badass. You get a lot more combos. So, that would be Valhalla. This is one specifically for her. Valhalla costs 2. As a response, when she attacks and defeats an enemy that has the Deathglow, you exhaust it, let you draw a card, and heal 1. So that's ways for her to heal a lot. She already has a bunch of health at 16, but with Valhalla, gives you card draw and healing. I mean, it was one-time use, but very easy to do because Deathglow is easy to pop on to a quick minion that has 1 HP or something, and you quickly kill it just to heal, and you have a shit ton of health. So, did I say 16? Yeah, 16. Yeah, the 12 plus 4. So that's really neat. And then another one that synergizes with her killing minions with just by defeating minions. This is actually just a basic, or not a basic, it's an aggression. So it's Hall of Heroes. Thematic to her, it's restricted, but you can, as a response, or it's not restricted, sorry, it's unique. As a response, after you defeat a minion, you place a glory on there, and then you can exhaust it to remove 3 glory counters to draw 3 cards. That is huge, just because she's so adept at defeating minions that you're going to get glory counters probably, I mean, potentially in 1 turn. It's not impossible for you to just wipe 3 minions out and then be like, oh, I'm actually going to draw 3 cards. Or you just hold on to those and then wait till your next turn. It is an alter ego action, so you have to be as Brunhilde to do it, but her having just upgrades as card draw is super neat. Now, here are some of her events that I thought were really, really interesting. You might be thinking, well, how does she do a bunch of damage? I'm getting to that. But before I get to that, ways for her to just keep her alive, which is huge. You can play Godlike Stamina. It's a basic card, but it is free, and you have to have the Asgard trait, which she does. You just heal 2 damage from your hero, and you can get rid of a status card. So if you're confused, or if you're not tough, if you are stunned, you can just, for free, boom. Okay, now I'm going to heal 2 with my 16 health anyway, and remove it. That's amazing. She has a few of those. If you're looking in terms of defense, you can play Shield Maiden. That is an interrupt when the enemy with Deathglow attacks. You can have her defend, like choose her as the defender without exhausting her, and you get +2 defense, which is already amazing. Because if you put Deathglow on the villain, for example, and you have her spear out, now you have a natural 3 defense. And then Shield Maiden, you just be like, oh, actually, you're going to attack me, and I get +2 defense without exhausting, which is, once again, huge. Most of the time, if you're defending, it's either potential cards that you have in your hand, or you have to exhaust, but you might have some other ways. But just the fact that you can just stand there and sturdy it and be like, oh, actually, I have 5 defense now, and I don't have to exhaust myself, this is really, really cool. Another way for her to get some card draw besides Valhalla and Hall of Heroes is another one that's really neat. Chooser of the Slain. A free card, and free cards are always pretty neat. You search the encounter deck for a minion, put it into play with you, and draw 2 cards. So in one turn, you could potentially play Chooser of the Slain, get a minion out if none are in front of you. If you're like, I need to kill someone, pop Deathglow to it, kill it, then... or actually, Hall of Heroes, you'd have to be in Alter Ego form, so then you draw 3 cards, pop to hero form, and then Chooser of the Slain, quickly kill a minion, summon him out, stab him, and then Valhalla, so then you've drawn a total of 6 cards in one turn. So that's really sweet. And then her massive, her heavy hitter is Have At Thee! She has, I believe, 3 of these in her deck. Yes. She has 3 Have At These in her deck. So, deal 7 damage. If the enemy you're attacking has the Deathglow, it gains overkill. So what I was doing, once again, I had her fight against Ultron, and he already has a bunch of level weak drones out. I'd pop it to a drone, play a Have At Thee, and then just immediately kill it, dealing 6 damage to Ultron while getting rid of a minion. Just because it gains overkill, and then I was just talking about Hall of Heroes. Just had a constant charge of what do they call them? Glory counters. So yeah, she is pretty freaking badass. Like, and then there's cards like Smash the Problem. You exhaust your hero to remove threat from a scheme equal to your attack. Very easy for her to raise her attack to where it's kind of like. Just a natural 4, like based off if she has her sword and combat training, she's just a 4. So you're never going to you still have to exhaust her, but instead of it being 1 threat, it's 4. So she does have it. She has ways to do just quick attack, quick strike is deal damage to an enemy equal to your attack. Once again, could just be 4 damage. Just a quick 4 damage, especially if you're doing power of aggression to then... just quickly play a quick strike for 4 damage. She has so many ways to deal damage while also keeping her alive, while also drawing cards, so she's doing a bunch of badass like shit, just constantly writing herself. She is amazing. And she's strategic. Like, that's the cool thing about her, is it's not kind of like, oh, I just do damage for the sake of doing damage, like it's so easy for me. You actually have to, prep your cards. You have to decide if you want to go after minions. She has that versatility, but you do have to pay cards to bring Deathglow out. It's not free. It's cheap, but it would be immediately broken if it was free. But she is extremely cool. Like, I was blown away while playing her just because I'm like, oh, I'm not dying. She still has, she does have difficulty, you have the Have At Thee, but she still can be overwhelmed, by herself. Like, she can kill minions, but she's not as good as Thor in wiping a bunch of minions. You do have to put the Deathglow on them to kill them, or to be able to kill them to ready her. So she does have to be worked on, like, a little bit to make her engine kind of run. But she has the health to be able to counteract that. She has the way to defend to keep her from even taking damage. I mean, very rarely are you going into Alter Ego form, like, unless you're just wanting more cards. And, like, every time I've played her, I've never had to recover just because she had ways to heal. And, oh, okay, minion shows up. Yeah, I'll quickly kill him. Oh, okay, now I'm just going to heal and, draw a card. So, like... She's not fighting, Ultron in this particular one. She's not the quickest one. She's not going to immediately wipe a phase 1. but she's gonna basically be even and get everything set up to then wipe him. Honestly, funny enough, when playing against him this time, it took longer for me to get rid of his phase 1 than his phase 2. Like, I had to whittle him down in phase 2 a little bit, then I one-shot him, and then phase 2 came around, and I'm like, oh, I have this massive card engine, and I have 2 have-at-these, and I have ways to overkill these minions to then keep readying her, so yeah, I blew through his phase 2, like, almost immediately. But it did still come down to his countdown to Oblivion, because she doesn't have a lot of ways to remove threat. So she's going to be an awesome ally if you're playing multiplayer. Like, she's going to be huge. Now, let's go over what she could do on her turn. Like, what's the strongest that she could be. So, with upgrades, let's do combat training. Let's say over time she had these. And she's had Hall of Heroes out, you know, with 3 upgrade tokens on there. I don't need to give her more health. I'm not going to give her Aragorn. Let's do Valhalla. So, let's say she has Chooser of the Sun. Let's say she started in alter ego form. So, she's going to get to draw 6 cards. So she has 6 cards. Let's try and make it to where I can... let's see. Do I want to try multiple quick strikes? And... let's see. Because I know she has multiple quick strikes. She has multiple have-at-these. Let's see. So... obviously, we're going to do energy, strength, and genius. So she's going to have 6. Let's see it's those 6. And then she does Hall of Heroes, which draws, which lets her draw 3 more. So we'll do Chooser of the Slain, and we'll do Power of Aggression and Quick Strike. And then let's see. Yes. Okay. So what we will do, so that lets her have a total of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Then we play, let's say she has, let's just say already there's a minion out and it has Deathglow on it. That's from a previous turn, because you don't have to pull it back. So let's say that's the case. And, alright, so, goes into Alter Ego. Then you play Chooser of the Slain. Let's see, you can. I'll actually put everything that I'm going to play here. You play Chooser of the Slain, search for a minion, yada yada, whatever. It's a minion right there. It lets you draw 2 more cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could do Quick Strike and the Power of Aggression again. Most likely, so what you can do, hell, you could even make it a little bit better, because she does have Angela, which is free, and you could just play her, but I think, yeah, for her to unexhaust, she has to be the one to kill it. So, we'll have Valkyrie be the one to kill this. It dies immediately, and that brings Deathglow back, which allows her to use Valhalla, healing her and letting her draw a card. I don't think it's going to matter what card it is that I can think of, so I'll just grab one. And then you could, and then she gets readied for that because of Deathglow. So this thing is dead. Deathglow is floating around. So, going against the villain, you could do you could play 1, 2, 3 to then play Have At Thee. That's going to be 7 damage. You can then theoretically do another. Yeah, the 3 cost is a little weird because she doesn't have a resource generation, but you could play these to then play another Have At Thee. Yeah, actually theoretically, if you drew into another quick strike, that would be a little bit better. So then that would be 14 damage. Then you could, so 14 damage, you play Power of Aggression to play Quick Strike. Her attack would be, I don't think it, +1/+2 instead while attacking the enemy. Yeah, so this is just dealing damage. So she has 4, it's 2 +1, +1 from her Dragon Fang, so she has 4. You do a Quick Strike, what was I say, 14 + 4 would be 18. You do another Power of Aggression to play Quick Strike again, so that'd be another 4, so 22. Then you do Strength to play another Quick Strike, 26. And then you have her attack for another 4 would be 30. So 30 damage. I'm pretty sure there's a way to actually do maybe a little bit more, but 30 damage in and of itself into, the villain, completely, one-shotting him no matter what phase. And, I mean, of course, unless it's multiplayer, but solo, pretty much one-shots. And that's one of the best I can see. A lot of the drawing is used to then be able to spend into Deathglow. Like, as if you drew, and let's say you had a bunch of minions out, you could then, draw the cards, attach Deathfang or Deathglow to it, to then play Have At Thee to overkill. So if it's a 1 health minion, you deal 1 damage and then 6 to the villain. But then, because you killed it, you get to ready her. So honestly, it's just like, Have At Thees are actually more useful for their double use. I'm going to kill a minion and then, and then kill the, and then kill, deal damage to the villain to then ready her. So she's super, super cool. Honestly, the way she plays reminds me of Gamora, and because Gamora is just all over the place as well, and so is she. So I think that's about right. Roughly around 30-ish damage. Probably better if you deconstruct. I can see her being really nasty. But coming straight out of the gate with a prepackaged amazing deck, Valkyrie is going to... Man, she really has everything. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, she has the upgrades, she has the card draw, she has the versatility for minion destruction, for villain damage, for even thwart if you need to remove it. Yeah, she's gonna get... yeah, I think so. Like, Gamora got a 10 out of 10 for me. She is equally as fun to play. Valkyrie's gonna get a 10 out of 10 as well. It's always the ones that I don't expect, like the named ones, like Vision and Spider-Man and all them. It's just like these side characters come in, and it's like they're even more badass. So Valkyrie is very fun to play. I enjoy playing her quite a bit. So yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on Valkyrie. Let me know what you think of her in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.